Hello and welcome to Sundays in Song. This week our lectionary includes a reading from Luke known as the Beatitudes. The Beatitudes is a litany presented by Jesus of all the people who are blessed. But these are not necessarily high and mighty people. In fact, it's just the opposite. Jesus in this passage emphasizes those who are the lowest of the low, those who are poor in spirit, those who are humble. And all of these, he says, are blessed in their own way. And in fact, that's where the term Beatitudes is from. It's from the Latin word beati, which means blessed. There are many wonderful settings of these Beatitudes, and one of the most famous ones, by a contemporary composer at least, is by Arvo Pärt, an Estonian composer who writes some luscious but at the same time chilling music. Now, Pärt sets the Beatitudes in English, but he does so in his own unique style, a style that he has referred to as tintinnabuli. In fact, this style comes from ideas of bells ringing. Arvo Pärt talks about that this is sort of from an idea of carillon chimes ringing and going through different patterns. What you'll hear in this piece, which will be presented at the offertory during the morning liturgy, is combinations of stepwise motion, like you'd have in scales, and arpeggiated motion like you'd have if you'd break a chord. So what Pärt does is he combines these aspects. So he might combine a scale with an arpeggiated chord. And when you combine them together, rather than having sort of functional harmony and careful control and release of dissonances, we sometimes have sudden clashes that don't resolve in the way that we expect them to, say if we were listening to music of Bach or Mozart or Handel or Haydn. Might be what we could hear in Handel and Haydn. Is what we tend to hear in Pärt. Now it's a subtle difference, but let me combine those lines together and you'll hear some of these biting harmonies that come when he freely combines these scalar lines and these leaping lines. And it's that alternation between bitter, crunchy dissonance and sweet resolution that I think makes this piece so appealing, because we not only have this emphasis on these aspects of doubt and despair, but also aspects of hope. And I think the way that he sets this text like a chant makes it all the more resonant and all the more effective in the way that he brings this music about. Here's a little bit of what it sounds like. In the evening, we'll have our second recital and evensong of the calendar year. We'll begin with a pre-service recital at 4:30 p.m. by Vivi Cantando, an early music chamber ensemble featuring Jana Kreitz and Julie Bosworth as vocalists. At 5 p.m., we'll continue with the service of evensong, here celebrating the feast of Frederick Douglass, orator for truth and justice. In this evensong, I've included an anthem of my own composition, entitled, I Will Sing of Mercy and of Justice. This piece was commissioned by the First Presbyterian Church of Dallas on the retirement of my father, the Reverend Dr. Bruce Buchanan, who worked for truth and mercy and justice in the streets of Dallas as executive director of the homeless day shelter, the Stew Pot. I find that the text that I chose for that anthem also resonates with what we are hearing today about Frederick Douglass and his legacy. And as we move forward in the 21st century, seeking truth and justice and mercy for all those, particularly those who are poor in spirit, who are downtrodden, all those who the Beatitudes tell us to bless. Thanks so much for watching Sundays in Song. I hope that you can attend these services either in the morning or in the evening or any of our musical events throughout the year. I'm Douglas Buchanan, and I look forward to singing with you.